Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on Wonder Woman 1984 Museum Madness. Now, as you know, Wonder Woman 1984 is meant to be a sequel to the 2017 film Wonder Woman, and yeah, this one got a comic book tie-in that's meant to kind of either be set before or during the events of the film. And I haven't seen the film, but I will once I get a Blu-ray copy off of eBay. So pretty much the cover has Wonder Woman looking badass, and let's get on the story. It starts off how at the museum, Diana is talking about the Viking exhibit, which some kids say, "Dude, he was wicked." He actually. And pretty much points out about the Viking female warriors being formidable foes, and we see how a girl named Jazz and her friends talk about how they got revenge on a freshman and that, and we kind of see how one of the museum workers introduces to Barbara and to Nerva through the exhibit and shows that their way to her new office. So of course, turns out there's some shady guys going on, and they're after the diamonds. And we kind of see how Wonder Woman tries to be a mentor to Jazz and her friends, and basically it turns out Jazz and her friends don't like adults as much. And you can tell one of them says, "Totally badass, I'd love to get my hands on one of those. Samurais lived by a code. They were not just skilled warriors. They practiced courage, compassion, respect, honor, loyalty, and self-control." And so something happens, and turns out that the guys are basically found out that the person they worked with didn't disable the alarms. They try and steal the diamonds, take hostages, and try to get a way out. So we see how Wonder Woman shows up and kind of figures out what's going on, so quickly has to get the kids to a safe area, and we kind of see how Barbara Ann and her new boss basically find out what's going on, and turns out they take them as hostages since they work here, with Barbara Ann saying, "I don't know, I just started." And so Bentley brings them into one of the exhibits. Basically, we see how Jazz and her friends use some of the weaponry, and we see how Wonder Woman goes in with guns blazing, using her bracelets to deflect the bullets, kick down the gunman, as well as basically telling them to hide in the restroom and wait until the police come. So we see how Jazz basically uses one of the exhibit shields and takes down one of the henchmen. And of course they're like, "Whoa, one down!" And so they get their weaponry, and Diana basically takes down two of the gunmen and traps them in the mummy exhibit. And we see how one of them tries to shoot at the kids, but the kids get an advantage and take down the other one. And basically one of them says, "No, not real, that's for sure. It's too big to be real. That's it." And so pretty much tells Barbara Ann to stay cover, and they go to the exhibit where they find out they're heading to the chopper. And we see how Wonder Woman remembers her days back in World War I and the first film, when she worked with Steve Trevor in stopping the enemy side. And we see how Wonder Woman remembers how they were there to help her the same way the kids were. And we kind of see how Wonder Woman uses her lasso to find out what's going on. And basically, he says that they have it somewhere. The whole thing was a really bad idea. And basically after this, Wonder Woman meets the kids again, but only in her superhero identity. And they say, "Hey miss, give me a call if you ever need a sidekick. All two, all free." And so pretty much at the end of the story, we see how the kids figured out that Diana called for help, and basically after this give the diamond back to the museum, and yeah, ending the story. So Museum Madness isn't too bad. It's a simple, straightforward story, and yeah, I haven't watched Wonder Woman 1984, and I will once I give it a chance. I have got the other DC movies in my room, so once I get around to reviewing it, I will give it my thought on each of the DC movies. So this issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.